hey, so I'm starting a coaching business. I don't have any clients yet, but I want to hire you to coach my future clients. Is that okay? Somehow, 7 people said yes to that. I still don't understand how that happened. But today we're going to be going over every single mistake that I made in my coaching business. If I wouldn't have done these things, it would have not only saved me 3 months, but thousands of dollars. So we're gonna be ranking them on the classic tier list. So the way we're structuring this, F tier, these are mistakes that I just shouldn't have made. They didn't help me in any way, and I didn't learn that much from them besides that I shouldn't have done it. And then S tier mistakes are mistakes that probably had to happen, and I learned a lot in the process. Starting with number 1, ordering 500 promotional cards from Staples with this hot model on there that I definitely got from Canva. And then I went to a bunch of GNCs and I dropped them off there. The first one somehow went way better than expected because I walked in and I was like, hey, like this is what I'm doing. Here's my plan. I want to coach. And he's like, dude, you're lucky that you're talking to the manager right now because nobody else is going to let you do this. But give me 50 of them. I'll put them right here. I was like, yo, you're the man. I took his advice, and the next 5 that I went to, I walked in. This is what I did, dude. So I walk in and just pretend I walk in. Hey, so I've got some promotional cards here. Is it better if I put them on the left side or the right side of the counter? Every single time, without fail, they were just like, oh yeah, just put them right here. Unfortunately, after giving out like 300 of those cards, not a single lead came in from those cards. So the GNC solicitation, I enjoyed it, but 1, it didn't teach me anything, and 2, it didn't get me a single client anyway. And I have like 200 cards in the back of my car right now. I have this weird attachment thing to them now. I kind of like them back there. For that reason, we're gonna stick this at a C tier. Didn't learn much, but it was fun. The next one is gonna be joining a bodybuilding competition. Now, this was a really big mistake, and not because I joined a bodybuilding competition. It was actually just my reasoning behind joining the bodybuilding competition. It was strictly to get clients. Never go join a sport because you think that it's gonna make more people come buy your thing. It's a terrible idea. I probably shouldn't have been up there on the stage, to be honest. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't practice my posing. I only had 3 weeks to prepare. I was 200 pounds getting on stage, which was just not a good look in general. But because it was fun and I did learn a bit about nutrition, I'm gonna put this at an A tier. Not quite S tier, but definitely A tier. Because overall it was an outstanding experience. Everybody that was on that stage all had a great story. Everybody had a reason for being there, except for me. The next one is gonna be everything that I DM'd my followers. This one hurts a lot, I'm not gonna lie. Whew. I think I started out with this massive paragraph, like introducing myself, talking about what I loved and talking about how I'm gonna help people reach their dream physique. It was just way too much. Nobody ever responded to that message. And so then I switched it. I went on the exact opposite end of the spectrum and it just said, do you even lift, bro? This got some responses, but honestly, it just pissed a lot of people off. I probably sent do you even lift, bro, to like 2,000 people. I sent it to one of my friend's moms on accident and she was really confused. But it taught me so much about how to actually get people on sales calls. What I would do now, when I have somebody that follows me, within the hour, I'll shoot them a DM. It just says, yo, first name, thanks for the follow, with a fist bump. So if you follow me on Instagram, you're probably gonna get that message from me. I found that this works best because 1, it's not really interrupting them. It's not saying like, hey, I wanna sell you something, right? It's actually just like, hey, I appreciate the follow. And then if they interact with it, then that actually opens up the conversation. If I get an inbound DM, inbound DMs are a little bit different. What I like to do is take the opposite approach from most coaches. And if you shoot me a DM from one of my ads, you're gonna get a message that says, hey, first name, this is Ben, parentheses, not a bot, LOL. Where are you at on your coaching journey or your health journey? So for that reason, all of the out-of-pocket things that I DM'd to my followers, that's gonna go in S tier. I learned so much from that process. This one hurts my soul. I paid just about $1,200 to get people to take a free trial. I think I read it in Alex Hormozi's book. It's like, make an offer so irresistible that they can't refuse. I definitely did that. But the unfortunate thing was every single person that tried that free trial didn't even end up signing up with me. I did learn a lot about what people needed, what they wanted, what they hated from their past programs, right? But it cost me so much money and I genuinely had no money to spend on the business, right? 2 months before I made my first $3,000, I was selling stuff just to make rent, right? And so I was making $0 for the first 3 months. And then once I eventually got a coach and he showed me what to do, I made $3,000 that next month. So genuinely, the $1,200 was just a complete waste of money, but it did teach me a bit about how to actually coach people. So for that reason, I'm going to be putting the $1,200 in I Eat Until Failure crew necks in A tier, baby. Now the next one is taking sales calls without any form of script. This, I don't know what I was doing, man. I could have just Googled like basic sales script and tried to make a framework out of it. I honestly just thought I could just wing it, ask them enough questions, and then they would want to buy from me. Somehow somebody did when I wasn't using the script. I think if I would have continued on my business just trying to take sales calls without a script, it probably would have taken me a good year before I actually closed anyone. So for that reason, this is going to be going in C tier. Now the second to last one is making terrible content. Now, lucky for me, I actually sold stuff from the very jump. Here's that video.
This morning, my dad sent me a text that he was proud of me. Nah, just kidding. Actually, he said that he wanted me to design a sticker for him that said, "It's not waterboarding if you use diesel." So I just did that, and the website's live. You can buy one for $5 if you want.
And honestly, that video didn't perform that bad. I actually sold a few stickers, but it was all downhill from there. I was just posting any video that I could even think of because I made the commitment of like, before I can go to the gym, I'm gonna post a video, right? I like held the thing that I loved hostage until I did the thing that I didn't want to do. But man, did I learn a lot about making content. And then once I eventually signed up with a coach, I already had like 15K followers, which didn't help me at all because they were just super unqualified. I was just making videos about anything, right? I had gotten so many reps in that I knew how to make somewhat decent content that would actually hold people's attention when it came to making short form content. Obviously, you can tell from just looking around the studio that I still don't really know what I'm doing, right? We got a weird like egg crate background going on right here. I had a nice background. That's what this green thing is right here. It all fell down. It looks like Hurricane Katrina went through this, or maybe the new hurricane that's going through, the newest update. But for that reason, I'm gonna put making terrible content as an S tier mistake. Now the last mistake hurts a lot, man. This one, I genuinely feel so bad just because there were so many people that were involved in it and I was so early on that I genuinely had no idea what I was doing. So Mateo, Jake, Andrea, Beth, Delilah, Ezra, and Jace, formal apology to all of you guys. And if you're wondering what I'm apologizing about, it's because I hired 7 personal trainers before I ever had my first client. This is by far the most painful mistake that I made. It hurt a lot of the relationships. A lot of them were my friends before all of this happened. And I brought them on, I sold them this bill of goods that we were gonna be this massive company, which eventually we were, but you just don't need a team that big, especially when you're starting out. Things pivot and change and ebb and flow so much in business that you just can't prepare that far ahead. So do what you can today. Please do not hire 7 personal trainers on a 1099 contract, and then 2 months down the line, you get 1 client and now you've negotiated yourself into a 35%, 65% split where I was getting 35% and I was working 80 hours a week. And it was just a complete mess, man. For that reason, we're gonna have to put hiring 7 personal trainers on F tier. I would never do that again. It didn't really teach me anything and I still feel bad to this day. But that being said, I really hope you enjoyed every single mistake that I made in my coaching business. Hopefully this helps you not make the same mistakes. If you want to see the 3-step system that I built out to actually do this effectively without making a ton of mistakes, just hit the link in the description and DM me mistake, and I'll send you over a free deep dive that shows you exactly how to go from 0 to 10K a month. All you got to do, DM me mistake. We'll have a conversation in there and I'll shoot you over that free video. Thanks again for watching and I'll see you next week.